Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about primitive conversion and casting in Java. So the agenda for today's video will be, we will understand what is primitive conversions and how to use cast operator in Java. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now let us understand what is type conversion. So type conversion is nothing but converting your values from one data type to the another type. All right, and it can be applied to both the primitive and the reference types, and in this video we will only look at the primitive type conversion. So there are two types of conversion in Java. The first one is the implicit conversion called the widening, and the second one is the explicit conversion also called as narrowing, right? And now let us look at the widening primitive conversion in Java. In Java, widening primitive conversion refers to the process of converting smaller data types into the larger data type without any loss of information. All right. And you must note that I have written all the data types based on the range of values that it can store and not based on the size and byte it occupies in the memory, right? That's the reason you have long before your float. Although long occupies 8 bytes of memory, while the float occupies only 4 bytes of memory. All right. And also you must notice that I have not written boolean as it does not participate in type conversion. Only the numeric types participate in the conversion, right? And since character is entirely stored as an unsigned integer, that's the reason it participates in type conversion. All right. So now let us see this with the help of the code example. So as you can see, I have written a program, right? Where on line 5, I try to assign the value of variable byte b1 to the integer variable i1. Similarly, on line 10, I try to assign the value of character variable c1 to the integer variable i2. And on the line number 14, I tried to assign the value of the character variable c1 to the double variable d1. And finally on line 19, I try to assign the value of the long variable l1 to the float variable f1. All right. So first let me compile this program. Sorry, Java C test.java. As you can see, there are no compilation errors. So now let me execute the program. So I type Java casting, and after you execute the program, the output is displayed properly. All right. And since the integer has more range than the byte, it can accommodate the byte value. So the output is 127, and for the variable i1. And similarly, we get the output of 65 on the second line, as integer can hold the range of values for character, right? So we have the output of 65, and on line 3 we have the output as 65.0. As widening has a transitive property, first your character value is converted to the int, to float, and then to double values respectively, right? And since char is represented as a whole number, we just append the point 0 after the whole number 65 to denote the floating point value. And finally we can see that long can be stored in the float variable, right? So we have this output as 1.23 e to the power of 9. So e is nothing but your 10 raised to the power 9. So this demonstrates that long can be stored in floating point as well. All right, so that is it for the widening. Now let us understand narrowing in Java. So it is nothing but converting from the higher data type to the lower data type, right? And for narrowing, we require to cast, or else we get the compile time error for the primitive type, right? And so now let us understand what is narrowing and what is typecasting with the help of the program. I've written this program where I have an integer variable I, and it has the value of 65. And there is another character variable C, and I assign the value of I to the character variable C. Okay, so let me save this and run this and check the output. Alright, now let us try to compile this program. So we have Java C test.java. And as you can see, we have the compilation error incompatible types, and there is a message possible lossy conversion from int to char. So this possible lossy conversion simply means that we are trying to convert from higher data type to the lower data type. All right. So now let us try to fix this compilation error. And what we will do is we will add the cast operator before the variable I, right? So here before the variable I, what I will do is add the cast operator, and cast operator has a syntax like this. We have this parentheses, and in between parentheses we write the lower data type which we want to cast to. So what we write is char over here. So let me save this and run this. Now let us try to compile and run this program again. So as you can see, we have successfully compiled the program. Now let us run this. So what I'll do is Java casting, right? And as you can see, we have the proper output of A. And so with the help of casting, we can convert from the larger data type to the lower data type, right? So now let us see few more examples of casting. So on line 9, what I'll try to do is I'll try to assign a floating point type to the integer type by casting. And on line 13, we will see what happens if we try to assign a value of higher range to the lower data type, right? So here we will be trying to assigning the value of 500 to the byte variable, right? B. And we all know that byte has a range of minus 128 to positive 127. And we will see what are the outputs for this examples, right? So now let us compile this and run this. So as you can see, we don't have any compilation errors. So now let us run this. And as you can see, for the integer where we converted from the floating point type, we have just the integer part, and all the decimal part is removed from the output. And for the conversion which involves values more than the range, the output will not be as expected, right? And so it is recommended to use casting appropriately to avoid any unexpected outputs. So that is it for the typecasting. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Java tutorials like this. And I will see you until next time.